Welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be giving you the promised word-for-word translation. Just keep in mind that although Korean is a beautiful language, it is highly complicated to have like a proper word-for-word and then afterwards it making sense as well. So just grab some snacks. I tried my best and let's see what came out. Thank you for watching. Let's get started. Hello, welcome back to the second episode of Aion Tonight. I'm Soin Seop, in charge of the Aion 2 business. Nice to see you again. Hello, I am Kim Nam-jung, leading the development of Aion 2. It's already been 2 months since our first broadcast. We didn't intend for it to take this long, but as we worked to improve the build quality before showing it to you, it ended up taking more time. First, I'd like to apologize for the delay. Since the last broadcast, so many of you have left comments and sent warm encouragement. This has given the entire dev team great strength. Thank you so much. Yes, there were indeed many messages. Reading them was both exciting and nerve-wracking, and we've been thinking hard about what to improve. We also saw many posts with questions and even some misunderstandings. That's right. Since we hadn't revealed much, a lot of speculations arose. So we've gathered some of these topics, and today we'll also show you the game live. This time, it's not just a video. We brought an actual playable build. You'll see it on screen later. We have the computer here, although you can't see the keyboard on stream. Before we dive into gameplay, we have other things prepared, so we'll go through them step by step. Since this is our second broadcast, let's quickly recap what we covered in the first one for those who missed it. In that first podcast, we revealed our very first in-game footage. Despite us saying it was in-game, some accused it of being fake. Hopefully, what we show today will clear up those misunderstandings. We also gave a brief overview of Aion 2's development, showed a cutscene featuring the Temple of Fire and Chromate the Corrupt, and announced our big decision to have manual combat. Lastly, we touched on the business model, saying it was still under development and would be transparently revealed once finalized. We're aiming to show the business model around autumn, so please wait until then. Today's show was a lot of content, especially about the FGT focus test group we run in June. Since it was invite only, many of you were curious about the atmosphere and gameplay during the FGT. We'll be showing you related materials. From my perspective, participants enjoyed a wide range of content, from character customization to the abyss and instances. Despite this short time, the excitement was intense. Speaking with players afterwards was deeply inspiring and motivation. Preparing for the FGT was both exciting and nerve-wracking. We were sorry we couldn't invite everyone due to space limitations. It felt like our report card day. So to start today's podcast, let's first show you a video of how the FGT went. Players gave positive impressions, praised the customization, smooth flight transition, similarity to promotion footage, improved combat feel, engaged PvE rates, nostalgia, and large-scale PvP battles. As you saw, players had high expectation and it was a truly exciting moment for us. While some may have spoken more positively because of the camera, my personal conversations with them gave me the same positive feeling.
FGT를 준비하면서 많이 설레기도 했고 떨리기도 했고 너무 많은 분들이 신청해 주셔서
Okay.
부르지 못한 죄송함을
So
듣고요.
I am gonna skip the FGT part just because I'm gonna be making another video for only the FGT where I'm gonna be having that part again translated word for word. So just you guys know that I'm gonna continue without the FGT. So let me just skip with that. Okay. After the FGT, there were also many communities and comments discussing ranging from enthusiasm to sharp questions and concerns. Skill slots and combat depth. Many people said this was a symbol of going mobile, especially when they saw only 8 skill slots in FGT footage. But to be clear, it's not limited to 8 skills. While some might assume the skill count is low based on those videos, that's not the case. In MMORPG, it's crucial to have a well-composed set of skills with unique characteristics for each role. Just like in Aion PC, we have a large variety of skills. Back then, the fun came from weaving skills between cooldowns, and we wanted to keep that, but also create a more action-oriented game. We considered how many skills could be realistically accessed with your left and while moving, and designed a context skill system. This condensed chain skills and activation into more streamlined combinations. Once you play, you won't feel limited or unable to fulfill your role. Aion 2's skill system is built around 3 pillars: active, passive, and stigma skills. Before combat, you chose which stigma skill to equip in limited slots and select traits for your active skill. The variety and combination create endless possibilities. If you count all skills without splitting them by type, there are around 40 in total. The skills you use can change drastically between PvP, PvE, and boss fights, meaning pre-battle. Skill setup are static and can completely alter the flow of combat, giving you a fresh experience each time. Light and monetization. Another question was, if wings have performance stats, doesn't that mean they're monetized? Wings are an Aion icon, but during the FGT we initially reduced the flight time to focus on testing, growth, combat and boss fights. This shorter flight time led to some frustration, but now flight time has been fully restored. One thing is certain, wings in Aion 2 are not pay to win. They're acquired through in-game farming and earning what you want. Not through gacha. In fact, carrying wings that match your outfit style might be more important than chasing stats. As we've said before, wings are not part of the business model. We'll reveal the actual business model in a future podcast before launch. Flight in all areas and PvP balance. Some players worried that if you can fly everywhere, won't field PvP be ruined? Will people hit and run on range classes attacking freely from the air? In the FGT, our focus was mostly on PvE content. PvP in PvE testing wasn't originally planned, but players wanted it, so we ran some sessions. Air combat in a 3D space, inherently more challenging to react to, so we had some limits in place. We've made adjustments so you can't just spread your wings mid-fight and escape. Flight is a powerful means of movement, but it's also strategic. While airborne, you can be attacked and forced to fall. This ensures flight doesn't automatically make combat one-sided or trivial. Another big question, if races are separated by server, how does PK work? What about RVR? In Aion PC, Ilios and Asmodean couldn't normally meet. They had separate territories, and encounters happened through Rift content or in natural zones like the Abyss. Aion 2 works the same way. But in the PC version, both factions excited on the same server, so when population imbalance occurred, there was no way to fix it. This hurt fair RVR battles. In Aion 2, servers are split in a way that allows us to match servers of balanced population for fairer, more enjoyable RVR. Your home server is where you live and play daily, but RVR happens through the Abyss or Rift, keeping cross-faction battle intact. We still have RVR content, but we also want to encourage smaller scale PvP like party, skirmish, so Rift will remain as a feature. No autoplay, but why mobile support? Many comments said, if there's no autoplay on mobile, I won't play, or how are you supposed to play without auto? Aion 2 does not have auto battle. We excluded it because it doesn't fit the gameplay experience. With aiming for, while auto battle improved accessibility on mobile, the essence of Aion has always been about reading your opponent's skills, reacting to your stats, effects, and using advanced healing potions or shock removable at the right time, and making precious decisions. That's the gameplay we want to deliver, something auto can't replicate.
조금 그런 느낌을 받으실 수도 있었을 텐데, 일단 그 전투 중에 날개를 펴고 비행으로 이탈하거나 하는 부분에 대해서는 저희가 다 이제 조치를 취하고요.
Why mobile support? Not for 24 hours AFK farming, but so more people can enjoy the game. Many don't have access to a PC anymore, and mobile access lets them still play Aion. That said, while mobile support full control and play, it's not as suited for high-level precise as PC. Most likely, players will prefer to do dungeons and large-scale PvP on PC and use mobile for lighter content like mini-games or crafting. We expect this trend will likely continue in the chat. Some people are saying remove mobile entirely, while others are saying they like it. The feedback feels very similar to the actual comments we've been seeing. There are even posts suggesting you're adding mobile just for monetization. That's not the case. Our overall approach is to align everything with the game's intended playstyle, and we've worked hard to make sure any features fit that version. We didn't add mobile simply because it's easier to monetize there. That was never our purpose. We also spend a lot of time thinking about how to make gameplay comfortable for those on mobile. In testing, we found that using skills worked fine, but rotating the camera while also moving and casting skills was too difficult. This made dodging boss attacks especially challenging. To address this, we considered adding a semi-control mode for mobile only. This wouldn't be full auto combat. There would be no infinite grinding or auto hunt that endlessly kills mobs and collect loot. Instead, it's designed so that, for example, you can focus on dodging a boss's attacks while certain basic skills activate automatically. If we just say semi-control, some might still think it's auto battle. To explain more clearly, true auto battle usually assumes you can endlessly farm in the field while automatically using potions, which changes both balance and content design. Our balance is built around manually control, where you need to react to enemies and dodge their skills. If you tried to play entirely on auto in Aion 2, you'd probably die a lot. This is not a game built for full automation.
내가 어떤 디버프에 걸렸고 어떤 상대이기 때문에
So think of mobile support as a way to broaden access, not as a tool for idle farming. The semi-control mode is designed within limits, so it won't harm the core gameplay. In our first podcast, everything was fully manual on both PC and mobile. Semi-control didn't exist, but after testing mobile ourselves, we realized some support function would help without breaking the experience.
요즘 PC가 없는 분들도 많고 하다 보니까 그런 분들이 아이온을
This isn't a 24/7 unattached autoplay system. Just a small assist. Of course, you might wonder if this could create economic imbalance between PC and mobile. We're aware of that risk and are developing safeguard to prevent it. Our decision isn't final yet, but as of today, we're actively developing semi-auto control with those protection in mind. As we've said since episode 1, this show is meant to explain what we're adding, changing or removing during development. The current plan may still change, and if it does, we'll explain why. Another question we saw was how much have the core content of Aion IP improved. From the first broadcast, we said our biggest focus was on improving and involving the original game. The core content and the way it works are being preserved, while evaluation means not changing the content lineup itself, but improving controls, input, responsiveness, and action feel, along with balance to help address issues like population imbalance. Some comments ask, how will people in their 40s play this? We think once you see the live gameplay later, you realize it's perfectly doable. We also know you're curious about what content is currently being developed, so we'll briefly introduce it. You're probably most excited to see actual gameplay footage, and we'll show it very soon. Let's speed this up so we can get to the gameplay. Since we prepared these explanations, we'll run through them quickly before switching to the live game screen. Yes, this is a live broadcast. Please trust us on that. We've just talked through our preparation points and the chat is moving so fast.
이렇게만 얘기하면은 약간 좀 그것도 자동 아니야? 라고 하실 수도 있을
MMORPG bring together many people with different playstyle. Some players immerse themselves in the story, others love to competitive PvP. Some just want to hang out casually with friends, and others focus on character customization. We put a lot thought into including all these styles in Aion 2. Our goal is to give players the freedom to enjoy the game the way with plenty of content to support different preferences and situations. As we like to say, we didn't know what you'd like best, so we prepared everything. All of these features are part of the game specification and the result of a lot of our hard work, so we hope you'll view them positively. Someone asked, has the release date been confirmed yet? If you watch until the end of the broadcast, we might be able to give you a little hint. First, let's talk about PvE, which comes in two forms: solo content and group content. After that, we'll cover PvP competitions, and finally, some light, more casual gameplay option. We'll go through these quickly.
또 그 과정에서 모바일과 PC 간의 어떤 경제적인 이제 차등 손해 같은 것들이 있지 않냐.
Solo PvP content, we have our main type of solo PvE, Nightmare Dungeon. Think of these as boss battle challenges. Each boss has 10 stages and you progress by defeating them stage by stage. The story and bosses differ for Ilios and Asmodeans. Normally, if you play Ilios, you can't fight Asmodean bosses, but Nightmare content lets you challenge bosses from the opposing factions. These battles involve mechanics and require good control, so they're designed for players who enjoy a challenge. We've also added a ranking system so you can compare completing speed and performance with others, giving competitive players more motivation. Normally, in order to reach a boss, you'd have to clear the entire dungeon from the entrance through mid-boss to the final boss. But here, all of that is skipped, letting you focus directly on the fight. Sealed dungeons, during progression, most players follow the main quest in a linear path, but that can get monotonous. So we've placed sealed dungeons all over the field in plain sight. These aren't just combat, they also include puzzles and other mechanics. If you see one while questing, we highly recommend check it out. Currently, there are about 60 per faction, with more planned for future updates. You can also enter sealed dungeons in enemy territory by crossing through a rift, and you'll receive rewards for doing so. In classic Aion, going through a rift into enemy lands was mostly just for PvP. In Aion 2, you'll also be able to enjoy that faction's PvE content. Garrisons. These are areas occupied by specific NPC factions. If you liberate them, you'll get hidden rewards. They've been guarding things. They were guarding. Think of them as outposts between larger and smaller hunting grounds. Depending on the monster stationed, there you might have human, deva, or draconian. Garrisons, each one has unique objectives, so we hope you'll enjoy exploring them. Awakening battles. The core of this mode is boss killing, but with a twist. It's a time attack challenge. You progress through a series of connected rooms, clearing monsters, and finally defeating the boss. The faster you complete it, the bigger the rewards. As your gear improves, you can aim for even faster clear time to compete against others. Now, let's move to group PvE content. You can play together with others. Exhibitions. This is essentially part play dungeon content, playable solo or in groups of 2 to 4 players. A representative example is the Temple of Fire, which we revealed in the first broadcast. Exhibitions have 2 difficult modes. Explorer mode, similar to easy mode, where you can get a feel for the dungeon. Conquest mode, the real challenge, unlocked after you experience Explorer mode. You can also join other players mid-run, meaning you can jump in and help even if someone has already started the dungeon. A lot of players will probably love the invasion system, while others may dislike having their runs interrupted. That's why we plan to add an option to block invasion if you don't want them. The main reason we included invasion is that in older games, parties often broke apart in mid-run. This feature helps reduce that issue and keeps runs going smoothly. Some people are saying this is too PvE focused. We understand, but we've explained it now so that when we show the actual gameplay footage later, you'll understand what you see. We didn't prepare pre-recorded videos. We brought a real build of the game. It's difficult to explain these systems purely while playing live, so we've given this quick introduction first. Please bear with us, we're almost done.
제가 이제 시공을 통해서 상대방 진영에 가면
Transcendence. This is still a party-based dungeon, but on tier above exhibition. In difficulty, it's stage-based. If you team work well together and complete missions with a high rank, you advance to the next stage. Your rank is determined by factors like clear time, number of enemy defeated, boss kills, and survival bonus. Your seasonal ranking is based on these scores, and rewards are given according to your position. There are about 10 difficulty levels in total. Subjunction content. This is also boss focused, but the twist is that the map contains random effects. You need to read and adapt to these effects to clear the dungeon successfully. Another unique element is a shared death limit for the entire party. If the total numbers of deaths is exceeded, you fail. Even if you revive someone, the death still counts. So keeping your team alive is crucial. 8-player dungeons, endgame content. Everything up to now has been mostly 4 players content, but at launch we'll have an 8-player raid as our primary endgame activity. Initially we debated between 16 or 24 player raids, but larger groups take too long to assemble. We decided 8 players was the right balance for challenge and accessibility. 8 players means 2 parties, and each one must perform its role properly. Your strategy will change depending on the progress of the other party, so communication is key. While gear matters, we're aiming for this to be more of a skill-based game. We want players to feel they're growing through practice and mastery, not just through stats. Now let's get to PvP overview. We'll go through PvP quickly, since most of you know these modes already. Arena, 1v1 and 4v4 matches. Battlegrounds, objective-based modes including a real-time payload mode similar to FPS games, where you push the objective back and forth. In Arena, by the way, flying is not possible. So there's no flying in 1v1 or 4v4 Arena. Rifts cross into enemy territory for PvP. Abyss, large-scale RVR battle, already covered earlier. Casual content. We've also prepared lighter gameplay options because we didn't know what you'd like most. So we made a bit of everything. Daily dungeons. Think hack and slash style fun, where waves of enemies pour in and you move them down. Shogu Fiesta, a collection of around 10 mini-games that rotate on a schedule. You can play whichever you like. After each season, unpopular mini-games will be removed and replaced with new ones, while the popular ones will stay. Finally, that's the end of the feature rundown. We know it was long, but we wanted to explain it properly. Before jumping into the gameplay now, we can move on to the in-game footage you've been waiting for.
컨텐츠라고 생각해 주시면 좋을 것 같고요. 이 점수는 이제 클리어 시간, 처치 수, 뭐 보스 잡은 수,
Character customization showcase. Let's switch over to the customization screen. When you first create a character, after selecting your class, you move into this customization phase. The panel here shows the various presets we've prepared. Let's click through a few male character presets first, but we know most of you are here to see the female characters, so we'll switch to those shortly. This is the same female character model we showed in the previous broadcast. You can change voice, adjust skin, gloss, and choose between studio lighting as shown or in-game environment lighting for a more realistic preview. A quick note, we have to request for your understanding. Due to YouTube streaming limitations, we can't broadcast this in 4K. Streaming in 4K would crash the feed, so the resolution is lowered. It looks much better in-game. As we adjusted the details, customization sliders, you might notice the character sometimes becoming less attractive. That's because we're focusing on showing functionality rather than keeping the character pretty during the demo. From here, you can adjust detailed facial features, jaw shape, jawline, chin protrusion, cheek fullness, forehead shape, and more. You can even reposition the eyebrows. Almost every facial structure elements can be modified, much like a plastic surgery simulator. The blue areas you see are placeholders indicating editable regions. This is still a development build, so these will look polished in the final version. You can also change the eyebrows, adjusting both sides, both the shape and the distance between them. The cheekbones can be made more or less pronounced. Let's tilt the view so you can see. Chat is saying, stop, you're making an alien dumpling. Yes, you can even adjust the height of the cheekbones. I know. Some of you are saying you don't care about facial details. Please be patient. You can make the ears point, adjust their size, position, and even rotate or fold them forward and back. You can lengthen the earlobes too. Yes, you can make them long like Liu bees if you want. There's a huge variety of eye shape, from small and realistic to large anime style. You can adjust their positions, depth, how far they sit in the socket, and even rotate them. You can tweak the inner corner, a tonic fold, high and sharp, as well as the outer corner, making them higher or lower. You can make sleepy eyes, wide open eyes, or if you really push it, full alien eyes. The iris can be resized and its shape, color, and outline can all be customized. You can even set different colors for each eye. Change the scalar white of the eyes to black or red and add a glowing effect. As you can share and download custom appearance, players who are great at character creation can upload their designs to the official site and others can download them. We've even built in a system to creators can earn revenue when their designs are used. You can adjust eyebrow size, shape, angle, position, and color. Eyelashes can be lengthened or shortened, made designer or sparse, and even set to two-tone colors. All of these applies to both upper and lower lashes, and everything appears exactly the same in-game. There are a lot of options here, so let's go quickly. Tip and height and position, bright height and width, nostrils width and position, mouth. You can change lip thickness, upper and lower separately, mouth width, corner height, and even how far the lips protrude. You can add pearl lenses, shine, gloss, or matte finishes plus molds, freckle and facial patterns. Hair and makeup. Hairstyle can be dyed into tones with separate colors for root and tips. Makeup options include eyeshadow, eyeliner, blush, highlighter, lipstick with pearl effects, and facial decors or
이
paint.
커스터마이징 할 때 좀 저희가 양해 말씀을 좀 드려야 될 것 같아요.
맞아요. 두 가지 양해 말씀드려야 될 것 같은데 첫 번째로 지금 보시고 있는 화면이
Yes, you can add beards and mustaches and even animate them through, though not everyone will want this feature.
그래가지고 그 부분은 좀 이제 양해를
You can fully adjust the body after creating using an appearance change ticket. Height, head size, neck length, arm size, hand size, and finger length are all adjustable as are muscle definitions and torso proportions. For the chest, you can change overall size, upper volume, and position. You can also adjust the back muscles, waist, circumference, stomach size, abdominal definition, height, thickness, calf size, and overall leg proportion from lean to very muscular. Alright, let's wrap up the customization here. We'll save this face and head straight into the game.
지금부터 하나씩 건드는 모든 게 다들 놀라실 겁니다.
제가 만지다 보면은 이게 조금씩 이제 안 좋아지거든요. 그래서 턱 모양.
Here we go. Logging in now, someone in chat just asked if I am a beauty YouTuber. Anyway, we in game now. This is the live gameplay screen with the UI visible. There is a slight delay between what I see and what on screen, so bear with me.
아까 얘기 드린 점점점 못생겨지는 신기로운 커스터마이징.
The scenery you're looking at is part of game world. Over there is Dredgen, and you can also see ether nodes, patrol guards, and the village of Kimilisk. I'd like to interact with chat while showing gameplay, but the delay makes real-time conversation tricky, so I'll move quickly while we talk. Here's the skill bar for the class I'm using. Left and right mouse buttons are bound to conditional skills or other active skills, while the QE keys also hold important abilities. On the far right is the line for stigma skills. As mentioned earlier, we're streaming in HD rather than 4K because broadcasting in 4K would crash this stream. So the visuals here are toned down from what you'd see in-game. Let's open the wings. Weapons are hidden when idle, but you can draw them at any time for display. Here's one of the pets. This one lets you ride it into the air. When you demount it, shrinks back into the smaller form. Let's fly for a bit. You can move freely in the air, descend and land anywhere. Someone in chat asked the price of this pet. This isn't cash shop pet, it's obtained in-game through hunting. Every monster you see here can be tamed as a pet. That building above is the Legion House, essentially an airship where guild members gather. If you fall from there, you can rejoin your allies in the field below.
그리고 약간 졸린 눈도 할 수 있고 부릅뜬 눈도 할 수 있습니다.
외계인 만드는 방법이.
People are asking for dancing. Yes, there will be a variety of dances emote in the future. Also, the passes you've seen are all field drops, so you see more when we enter Temple of Fire. Before that, here's the menu screen. This version of the interface hasn't even been even seen by FGT participant, yet you can see the character level and items level here. Unlike the PC version of Aion, Aion 2 uses item level for dungeon entry requirement and other system. Many are asking to see this shop. While it's still in development, I'll show it briefly. Some placeholders prices are here from testing. Don't read too much into them. One thing that might cause confusion, this pet in the shop is appearance only, with no gameplay stats. There is also a Gentle Breeze shop which sells consumables at twice the NPC price, meant as an emergency supply point. When you can't reach a normal vendor, you can also buy certain crafting materials here, meaning you can craft outside of town. However, crafting in town workshop will still offer better bonuses. Someone asked about PC specs. With developing and optimizing on a GTX 2070, it's not perfectly smooth yet, but it's playable, and with continuing optimization, higher specs will naturally run better, but the goal is to make it run well even at this level. Here's my inventory. Everything here is unique. Tier gear items can be sorted, of course. I'll save skill urges for even we get into a dungeon. Right now, this development build has placeholders data, so you don't see the final dungeon layout. As for mobile performance, yes, it runs fine. In fact, we plan to show mobile gameplay in the next podcast. This is the dungeon run counter. Here's the invasion toggle I mentioned earlier. Let's use it to jump into a Temple of Fire run mid-progress. Our dev team has a group inside waiting to play with us. We've got a Templar, a Sorcerer, and a Cleric. Ready. Normally there'd be a barrier and NPCs at the stage, but we've joined after they've already progressed. This is Conquest mode, which is the harder difficulty, as opposed to Exploration mode, where you learn the dungeon solo first. Well, teleport straight to the party using the set waypoint. There they are. Hello everyone, our party leader is the Templar, so we'll follow their lead. Before we start, I should explain our aiming system. In the center of the screen, you'll see a targeting retrieval, or look like we've accidentally pulled aggro already. If you look at the center of the screen, you'll see a targeting dot when you get close to an enemy, or sorry, I accidentally pulled Rotan. Remember Rotan? That nostalgia little troublemaker from before? Someone in the chat asked if you can't zoom the camera out. Yes, you can zoom both in and out. But you also wanted to see target making. Yep, we can make enemies right now. Rotan is making with all skull icon. I've boosted my character attack power a bit so we can move through this faster. And yes, I can hear our cleric's blood pressure rising from here. We'll keep pushing forward in this run of Chromade's trial. There are 3 bosses in total, 2 mid-bosses and Chromade herself. We'll take down 1 boss and then keep going. That enemy ahead is Murad. See the circle around it? That's it. It's acro range. step into it and it will instantly engage. We can also set traps which stuns enemies when triggered. The bar here is the stun gug. Once it fills, the enemy becomes stage. Someone asked if we have number markers. Yes, we do. I'll show that later. There is no auto battle mode. Everything is manually. You activate things like the Kimilisks because yourself. Some viewers are asking to change the camera view. Let's pull it back a bit. Although for visuals, closer shots look nicer. UI elements like the skill bar can be moved anywhere you like, and for those asking, GTX 1060 might struggle with this game, to be honest. You just saw a fire spirit drop. I also obtained a heroic fire spirit insignia. Collect 10 of these and you can get a pet. Yes, you can solo content if you want. We're a bit of a chaotic party at the moment because I'm busy explaining things and the devs here are multitasking again. No auto battle, it's all player control. Targeting is simple. Point the reticle at an enemy and it locks. The Templar grabbing skill doesn't work on bosses, only regular mobs. In Prometheus fight, you'll see she uses a flame curtain attack. You have to dodge it by moving left or right. Movement can be set to auto patting, but that's not combat automation. The archer seems to be slacking again. Oh no, they're down. Cleric, please revive them. Yes, I can hear the healer sight from here. Here's the healer's POV. You can see healing skills automatically prioritize low HP allies. We just had a loot roll pop-up, classic nostalgia, and I'll take that.
그래서 일단은 제가 좀 좋아하는 캐릭터 중에 커스터마이징 중에 하나인데
You can also gather unique materials from different dungeons, not just from the field. Someone asked about showing the assassin. We didn't bring one today, but we'll try to show it in the future. Dungeons give two types of rewards. Direct drop from bosses, tradable between players. Ether energy cubes, open with tickets, and all contents are bound to your account. The UI also shows which bosses you've cleared. More kills mean better rewards. Here's the Templar fighting in midair. Yes, you can attack while flying. Can you clear without a cleric? It's safe with one, but a chanter can also heal, buff, and support DPS. We don't have a chanter here today. People like the sorcerer flashy skills earlier. Let's bring them on screen again and zoom in. PvP functions. When targeting a player, you can send a duel request, party invite, view their info, add them as a friend, or follow them. Dueling isn't available in this zone. That wraps up most of what we plan to show. From customization to live gameplay, we just got a random drop weapon. Gear in Aion 2 has randomized stats, and socketing can improve them. Heroic sockets can be leveled up and feeding the same weapon type. You can also extract and reapply skin freely. See here, I can hide the helmet and preview appearance. You can also hide the helm here, and you can view all pet details as well.
보시는 요 녀석이 이제 저희 펫 중에 하나고요.
네. 이거는 펫이 이렇게 잡고서 나는 그런
That wraps up the in-game showcase we prepared for today. The UI you see is still being improved. Designs are changing as we continue development. So think of this as a work in progress. There's been a lot of feedback in chat about the non-targeting system, the UI, the character visual and the random stat system. If you keep farming gear, you'll be able to re-roll unwanted stats. We also saw messages like, please keep developing well.
그리고 이제 요 위에 보이는 요게 이제 레기온 하우스입니다. 비공정이고요.
In the idle mode, weapons are hidden, but your character will occasionally draw them automatically as part of idle animation. Someone asked about transformations. There aren't any in Aion 2, so we can't show that.
여기서 이제 떨어지면 이제 이 여기에 있는 아래에 있는 필드로 각각 이제 합류가 가능하고요. 네. 그리고
We have two control modes, a classic mode for those who played the original Aion, tab target friendly, and a free mouse mode where you move and aim directly with the mouse.
춤 한번 해볼까요?
Many are asking when the game will be launched. Our goal is to release within this year. We can't give the exact date yet because there's still a lot to finish, but once it's confirmed, we'll announce it right away.
네, 그 펫은 다 필드에서 드랍하는 거고요.
Dungeon tickets recharge daily at the set time. You can also find hidden cubes on the map which grant more tickets when opened. Yes, you can inspect another player's gear game, but the current UI for this is being reworked, so we'll show it later.
한 번도 보지 못한 그 이후에 개발된 화면이고요.
The in-game marketplace will use Kina, the in-game currency, like gold. This is deliberate. We don't want a heavy cash shop driven economy. PvE is important to us, but so is PvP. We want to avoid unwanted PvP outside of rifts, and will be limiting how long players can remain in enemy territory to reduce disruption to others. Kina can be earned from mobs, but most will come from dungeons content. To reduce farming abuse, characters names can use foreign characters and can be up to 12 characters letters long. Controllers work, but not perfectly. We're focusing on PC and mobile. No console release is planned for launch though we may consider it later. There is no Kina boosting feature. Currency gain is entirely in-game.
제작재료는 이렇게 판다라는 의미가
Yes, there is auto-attack cancelling. You can interrupt an auto-attack animation with the skill, which causes a gray image to appear around your character. Cosmetic will be a big part of our business model, and we plan to make them very high quality. There are camera shake options you can turn off, and a lock-on mode if you prefer. New skills will come as the level cap increases. We know this stream has been long, so we'll wrap up here. Our next podcast is planned for September, when we'll have our major event. In that stream, we'll show the mobile version, the Chanter, the Assassin, and other classes we didn't cover today. Please consider subscribing. We're close to 100k, and enabling notification means you'll see all our updates. Final thought from Namjo. We've been so focused on the gameplay and commentary that I'm a little worried about the reaction afterward. I hope you've enjoyed what we've shown, even if it's not perfect.
걱정 안
yet.
하셔도 돼요.
We're working hard to make Aion 2 a fun, high quality game, so please look forward to it. We apologize for how long this stream ran. Next time, we'll keep it more focused but still interactive. Thank you for staying with us until this later
요 던전이
how
불의 신전으로
hour.
난입을
Until
해서
this late hour. Now it's
저희 저쪽에
back to
게임할
work
수
for
있는
us.
분들이 플레이를
Let's
같이
end
하려고
not
세팅을 해놓고
with our
수호성,
faces but with our
마성,
characters
신사도 지금
waving goodbye.
예, 원래는
Thank you
여기에
so
이제
much for
막이
watching.
있었습니다.
See you next time.
막이 있는데 다 진행을 한 상태고요.
이게 탐험 정복 중에 정복 난이도죠.
예, 정복 난이도입니다.
네. 그래서 탐험은 좀 혼자서 플레이하면서 익히는, 그리고 이 정복은 아까 제가 설명을 빠르게 하다 보니까 넘어갔는데 정복은 그 상위 단계라고 보시면 될 것 같고요.
예, 그리고 이제 그 파티원들이 이제 활성화시켜 놓은 이제
키벨리스크로 타고 바로 갈 수 있어요. 네, 해서 지금 파티원들이 있는 곳으로 같이 합류를 해서 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 저기 계시는군요. 네, 반갑습니다.
네, 지금 파티장이 수호성이죠. 네, 수호성 분을 이제 시작으로 가도록 하겠습니다. 네, 불의 신전 레이드를 진행하는
아십시오.
거고요. 궁성 논에 이러면서 이제 또 커스터마이징 하려고
예,
하지마. 커스터마이징.
일단은 저희의 좀 에임 시스템을 설명을 드려야 될 것 같아요. 아이고, 애드가 됐네요. 이렇게 가운데 화면을 보시면 여기에 이렇게 점이 하나 있는데 요 근처에 가까이 가면은 이제
로탄
죄송합니다. 제가 로탄을
애드가 됐죠.
애드를 시켰네요. 예.
저 굴렁쇠 로탄 우리 기억하시죠? 추억도 많이 있던 친구인데 카메라 시점을 못 늘리나요? 라고 하는데 카메라도 줌인, 줌아웃 다 되고요. 지금 찍는 거 보여달라는데 지금 찍어놨죠. 지금 저기 해골
지금
네.
찍어 놓으셨을까요?
로탄에 찍혀
아, 로탄에 찍혀 있네요. 아, 지금 제 캐릭터가 공격력을 아까 전에 조금 펌핑을 시켰어요. 그래서 좀 빨리 하고 싶을 때 빨리 진행할 수 있도록 조금 이제 하는 상태고요. 로탄을 저렇게 사용하고 있습니다.
치유 혈압 오르는 소리 들린다.
예, 맞습니다.
네, 그래서 쭉 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 그래서 지금 갈게 저희 크로메드에 총 중간 보스가 두 마리가 있고요. 그다음 크로메드까지 총 보스가 3마리가 있는데 그 중에 한 보스를 잡고 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 네, 지금 앞에 보이는 친구가 한번 타겟을 잡아보시겠어요? 네.
예.
무르트인데 저렇게 주변의 원으로 이 애드 거리를 만들어줘요. 그래서 저 애드를 거리에 딱 발을 대는 순간 띠딩 하게 됩니다. 자동 죽기 있습니다.
예.
진 크기가 좀 작다고 하는데 다음 빌드에서는 진 크기 좀 늘려줄 수 있나요?
아, 예, 늘릴 수 있습니다.
네, 지금 아직 개발 단계니까 얘기해 주시면 적용하겠습니다.
덧도 깔 수 있고요. 그럼 여기 오면은 이제 덧 밟으면은 기절하게 됩니다. 그리고 저기 이제 방금 전에 이제 그로기 상태에 걸렸어요. 여기에 있는 이제 게이지가 그로기 게이지인데 이게 달면은 몹이 이제 그로기 상태에 빠지게 됩니다.
숫자징 없냐고 하는데 숫자징이 저희가 있습니다. 숫자징 죽었네요. 이따가 숫자징 한번 찍어볼게요.
예.
자동 사냥 모드도 보여주세요.
아,
자동 사냥
없어요?
모드 없습니다.
지금 만들려고 하고 있는 중이에요.
네.
그래서 아까 보였던 이런 이제 키벨리스크들을 활성화를 시키면 됩니다.
네. 시점 좀 바꿔달라는 얘기가 많은데요.
아, 그러면은
네. 너무 답답하다고.
예, 좀 중간 정도로 해볼까요? 그래도 좀 이게 이뻐 보이려면 가까운 캐릭터로 하는 게 좋아가지고 이게 실제로 이제 보시는 거하고 실제로 이제 했을 때 느낌은 좀 많이 다르실 거예요.
스킬 창이 고정이냐라고 하는데요.
다 옮길 수 있습니다.
시점 좀 확 줄여줘 봐요라고 합니다.
네.
확 줄여볼 수 있을까요?
네.
게임 1060으로 가능한가요?
1060은 좀 힘들지 않을까 싶은데요.
네, 좀 힘들 것 같아요.
예, 방금 여기 보셨죠? 이제 불의 정령,
숫자증. 네, 숫자증이 있고요.
예, 영혼 최상급 불의 정령 각인을 획득했다고 했는데 이런 식으로 사냥하다 보면은 영혼이 나오고요. 10개 모으면은 펫을 얻을 수 있습니다.
네, 무빙샷 좋다는 얘기도 있고 솔풀 되나요? 솔풀 가능합니다.
예,
네.
저는 다 에디 시킬게요. 빨리 진행하기 위해서.
이거지 아이온. 네. 1번 징 안 죽고 2번부터 주고.
아, 저 지금
대체 딜을
예.
가 지금 난장판 파티라서요.
예,
네.
일단은 이게 좀 이제 보여드리는 거에 집중하다 보니까 그래서 저기 지금 플레이하신 분들도 개발자분들인데 지금 일 시켜야 되는데 제가 끌고 와서 이렇게 하고 있는 거라.
네.
예.
자동 사냥 만들고 있다고 얘기했어요?
아니요, 자동 사냥 아니에요. 예,
네, 자동 사냥 없습니다. 다
예, 예.
수동이고요.
예, 요 부분은 한번 보셨기 때문에 넘어가겠습니다.
타겟 어떻게 잡음이라고 하는데,
그냥 화면 중앙을 보시면 잡힙니다.
네, 저 궁성 위에 보면은 약간 흰색 점이 점점점점 보일 거예요. 저걸로 이제 타겟팅해서 가고요. 수호성의 고무줄을 보여줘요.
예, 보스가 안 땡겨집니다.
네, 보스는 안 당겨집니다. 네, 지금 크로메데 보스 이제 하는 거고, 딜미터기 있나요? 하는데 딜미터기는 좀 이슈가 많았죠, 여기저기서도. 그래서 현재는 아직 그런 생각을 안 하고 있는데,
아직 빌드는 안 들어가 있는데요. 좀 저희가 넣을까 지금 말까
넣을까 말까
고민하고 있는
고민하고 있는 상태입니다. 길드 있어요? 네, 레기온 있습니다.
근데 저희는 이제 저희 회사의 다른 게임들과는 다르게 그 레기온 길드가 이렇게 되게 강력하게 되진 않을 거고요. 좀 느슨하게 이제 운영을 할 생각입니다.
네, 서버별로 종족 정해지는 게 맞나요?
네, 맞습니다.
서버별로 종족이 정해집니다. 크메 늘무인가요?
아, 크로메데 무기는 늘무입니다.
네.
예. 근데 각각 이제 패턴들이 이렇게 있고요. 이제 요 크로메데 같은 경우는 이 불의 장막을
피해야 돼요. 네.
으아! 네. 으아!
네, 요래 왔다 갔다 왼쪽 오른쪽. 네.
예.
네, 오 이걸 피해?
뿌듯합니다.
아까 얘기했던 40도도 할 수 있습니다.
예. 좀 다시 좀
퀘스트 이동은 자동인가요? 네, 자동입니다.
이동은 자동입니다.
네, 이동은 자동입니다.
네.
자동 사냥 없다는 구라다. 자동 사냥 없습니다 지금.
예. 화면에 어디에도 자동과는 관련된 게 없습니다.
궁성 틸 안 해요 파티장님.
예.
네, 궁성 또 놀고 있죠.
예. 안 돼! 안 돼!
궁성 죽죠.
안 돼! 알려주세요. 무리야.
궁성. 이거를 치유가 살렸는데.
아하.
네, 치유가 화내는 소리가 여기까지 들리네요.
아, 이제
퀘스트 이동 자동입니다. 네. 이게 딜레이가 있어가지고 저희가 답변 드린 게 좀 늦게 올라가는 것 같은데요. 이걸 사네.
예. 방금 죽어보려고 했는데 이제
치유 지어 짜네.
예, 힐을 열심히 해주셔가지고
네.
패턴들을 좀 보여드리기 위해서 제가 이제
타겟팅, 논타겟팅입니다.
하하 쉽게 죽지 않습니다.
치유 시점 한번 보여주시겠어요? 네. 지금 보시는 화면 이제 치유의 인터페이스 화면이고요. 치유 혼자 열리라는 모습 보이죠? 영차.
또 저희는 이제
다시
또
공성으로.
네, 저희는 힐이 그 범위 내에 가장 그 HP가 적은 대상한테 자동으로 들어가는 좀 그런 것들도 있고요.
네.
아,
이렇게
보스가
주사위
죽으면서 이제 이런 것들이 주사위가 떴고요.
뭐 옛날 감성이죠. 이거 다 주사위
나머지는
굴려서 먹기.
포기하겠습니다.
네.
예, 그리고
아이온 원처럼 택기로 타겟을 바꿀 수 있나요?
예, 바꿀 수
네,
있습니다.
가능합니다.
예, 그리고 이 보스들은 이제 어떤 몸속에 오드 에너지를 품고 있기 때문에 보스가 죽었을 때 이렇게 던전에 오드가 이렇게 드랍이 생성이 되게 되고요.
오드는 마을에서 하늘에 있던
예,
녀석 아닌가요?
예, 그것도 맞는데 이렇게 던전을 돌아도 이게 특정 던전마다 좀 다른 체질물들도 좀 캐실 수 있게
네.
이렇게 할 수 있습니다.
네, 살성도 보여주셨으면 저희가 살성은 안 가져왔는데 다음에는 살성 한번 보여드릴게요.
예, 그리고 저희가 보상을 던전을 깼을 때 그 두 가지 보상이 있습니다. 이제 첫 번째로는 보스가 죽었을 때 직접 들어가는 직드랍이고요. 그리고 이제 오드 에너지 큐브라고 하는 이제 보상 상자를 여는 것인데 요 큐브는 이제 에너지, 그러니까 어쨌든 쉽게 말하면 티켓을 써서 여는 거고요. 여기서 얻는 것들은 다 이제 획득시 귀속이 됩니다.
네.
그리고 대신 그 보스가 직접 죽으면서 드랍한 아이템들은 거래가 가능합니다.
네.
그리고 이제 뭐 크로메데 이제 무르트 이렇게 잡은 보스와 잡지 않은 보스가 이렇게 표시가 되고 있고요. 다 많은 보스를 잡을수록 보상이 더 커지고.
수호성 화면 한 번만 바꿔주시겠어요? 수호성이 공중에서 칼질하는 모습 좀 보여주고 싶은데 칼질할 수 있나요?
좀 멀리에서 한번.
멀리에서 한 번만 좀 보여줬으면 좋겠는데. 네. 이렇게 논타겟팅 형태로 이렇게 칼질하면서 플레이를 가능합니다.
예, 치유 없이 호버 필러도 던전 깰 수 있나요? 아무래도 치유가 좀 더 안정적이긴 하겠죠. 근데 대신 이제 호법은 힐도 힐이지만은 이제 진원류, 버프, 치풍 같은 것들을 막 이제 둘러서 딜로 좀 이제 서포트로도 갈 수 있고요. 호법을 보여드리고 싶은데 호법이 우리가 있던가요 지금? 오늘 보면 딱 어찌 보면은 딱 이제 기본 캐릭터들만 이렇게 준비해서요.
마도 또 한 번만 보여줄까요 화면을? 마도가 아까 딜할 때 멋있었다고 해서 마도 스킬창과 오
예, 조금 더 가까이 캐릭터도 한번 보여주세요. PVP에 대한 부분이요. 예, 설명해 드릴 수 있습니다. 어떤 걸 설명해 드리면 될까요? 예. 뭐 이런
호법 보고 싶다고 하실 분 있는데 호법은 저희가 준비를 안 해서
예, 제 화면 잠깐 보여주시겠어요? 여기는
동성 화면으로
여기서 막혀 있군요. 예, 여기 보면은 거래 요청, 개인 거래죠. 그리고 결투 신청, 파티 초대, 정보 보기, 친구 추가, 따라가기.
네.
예, 이렇게 기능이 있고요. 여기서 결투 신청 해보려고 했는데 예,
안 되죠.
안 됩니다.
네. 그래서 저희가 일단 오늘 소개시켜 드리기로 했던 커스터마이징부터 인게임 플레이까지 많이 소개시켜 드렸고요. 오. 보상을 얻었습니다.
네. 이렇게 아이템을 얻었고요. 저희가 아이템 옵션이 랜덤 옵션이에요. 그래서 이렇게 각인을 하면 여기 지금 원래 연출이 지금 개발 버전이라 빠졌는데 이렇게 붙을 수 있고요. 요 왼쪽에 보시면은 이렇게 일식 있는 이 옵션들이 스킬의 레벨을 올려주는 옵션들입니다. 예. 그래서 영혼 각인율이 다르고요. 같은 무기로 이렇게 다시 먹이면은 영혼 각인율을 올릴 수가 있고 이런 식으로 구성이 되어 있고요. 또 여기 보면 외형 정보가 있어요. 아까 전에 다 추출이 가능하다고 말씀드렸었는데 개인 거래 됩니다. 예. 이렇게 외형 정보들을 다 이렇게 보실 수 있고요. 여기서 이렇게 뭐 헤드 숨기면은 이렇게 나오는 것들을 다 보실 수 있습니다. 얘는 볼까요?
그래도 머리 숨기고 네.
예. 뭐 이렇게 구성이 되어 있고요. 펫 정보들도 다 보실 수 있고. 예. 현재 그렇게 되어 있습니다.
네.
던전
어떻게 저희가 준비된 게임 하면 이제 마무리가 되는데요.
그리고 이것 UI도 지금 화면에 보시는 요 화면의 UI도 저희 계속 개선하고 있는 중이니까요. 뭐 디자인 같은 것들도 계속 바뀌고 있고요.
네. 우선 개발 중인 과정이라고 보시면 될 것 같아요.
예.
네.
그렇습니다.
네. 논 타겟팅 미쳤냐고 UI 얘기도 많았고요.
예.
네. 외형 너무 좋다라는 얘기도 많았고요.
네. 그 랜덤 옵션도 이제 계속 파밍하다 보면은 그 특정 마음에 들지 않은 옵션을 이렇게 바꿀 수가 있습니다. 예.
개발 잘해주세요. 이라는 글도 있었고요.
예.
네.
대기 상태에서 무기 보이게요. 지금 이렇게 가만히 있다 보면 무기를 꺼내는 형태로 되어 있습니다. 아이들 동작으로 되어 있고요.
네.
아,
네. 변신은 안 보여주나요? 라는데 변신이 없습니다.
네, 저희 변신이 없어요.
네. 변신이 있어야 보여드리는데 변신이 없어요.
네.
그래서 변신 뽑기가 없고요. 네. 그래서 천장이 없습니다.
네.
하나가 없으니까 다 없게 됩니다. 네.
그리고 뭐 모드 하나 더 있는데 저희가 모드가 두 가지입니다. 이제 클래식 조작 모드가 있고요. 요거는 이렇게 마우스를 이렇게 움직여서 하시는 예전에 이제 아이온 하셨던 분들이 편하게 탭으로 컨트롤 하시는 모드 이렇게 조작할 수 있습니다.
여기 물 앞에 있는 거 얕은 건가요? 얕은 물인가? 여기 얕은 물인가 보다.
네, 여긴 얕은
네. 물 한번 들어가 볼까 했는데. 네, 언제 출시하나요? 라고 하는데요. 저희가
올해 내에
올해
합니다.
출시하겠습니다.
네, 올해 내에 하겠습니다.
올해 내. 제발 올해 출시라고 하는데 네, 올해 출시하겠습니다.
예.
출시 일정은 나온 대로 바로.
예.
사실 나오긴 했는데 아직 저희가 준비 중에 있어가지고
예.
네.
할 게 너무 많아가지고요.
네.
확정되면은 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다.
확정되면 거의 확정인데 한 번 더 확정되면
네.
공개하도록 하겠습니다.
뭐 저기 보니까 티켓은 과금인가요?인데요. 저거 매일마다 정해진 시간에 충전이 되고요. 여기 다니시다 보면은 맵에 이렇게 히든 큐브라고 하는 상자들이 놓여 있어요. 그 상자를 열면은 거기서 이렇게 조금씩 획득하실 수 있습니다. 상대방의 장비 정보를 인게임에서 보실 수 있는데 지금도 볼 수 있거든요. 근데 저 UI를 좀 뜯어 고치고 있어가지고 좀 이제 크래시가 날 수 있어서 전 다음에 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
홀수다리예요, 짝수다리예요. 출시 힌트 주세요 하는데 홀짝.
약간 슈레딩거에 다를 수 있을 것 같아요.
네.
PVP요. PVP는 다음에 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 다음에 전장을 같이 공개하면서 이렇게 좀 보여드려도 괜찮지 않을까 싶어요. 캐시템이 없습니다.
네, 지금 없어요. 아까 한번 상점 보여드렸죠.
예,
지금
그리고-
없어요.
그리고 여기쯤에서 좀 한번 말씀드려야 될 게 이게 좀 중요한 내용이긴 한데요. 저희는 거래소가
네.
키나입니다.
네, 키나 거래소로 하기로 했습니다.
예, 그것이 이제 뭐 당연한 얘기, 그러니까 키나라는 거는 이제 인게임 재화를
네.
이제 골드 같은 거를 말씀드리는 거고요. 왜 당연한 얘기를 하고 있냐라고 말씀하시는 분들도 있을 수 있을 것 같고 아니면 어떤 분들은 이제 하실 수도 있을 것 같아요. 예.
네, 일단 키나 거래소로 했다라는 게 이제 전체적인 경제 베이스가
장군 장교 막 이런 거 있는데 이것도 아직 만들고 있는 중인데요. 이렇게 총사령관이 이렇게 있고
네.
장교 있고 구급병까지 이렇게 있습니다.
지금 화면 나가고 있는 거죠? 네네.
네.
네. 그래서 배틀 패스라던가 이런 것들 형태로 저희가 좀 준비를 하게 될 것 같고요.
네.
네. PV 위주 맞나요?
저희는 PVE를 굉장히 중요시 여기기도 하지만 PVP도 굉장히 중요시 여깁니다. 다만 그 시공을 제외하고서는 원치 않는 PVP가 발생하는 상황들은 좀 막고 싶었고요. 그 시공도 원래 아이온 PC 때는 넘어가면은 이제 한 번 넘어가면 안 돌아왔잖아요. 이제 뒤에다가 키스크 박아놓고. 근데 저희는 그 머무를 수 있는 시간을 좀 제한하려고 합니다. 왜냐하면은 이제 넘어가신 분들은 재밌겠지만 그 안에 머무르셔서 사냥하시던 분들한테 너무 많은 피해가 가기를 원치 않기 때문에 그렇게 좀 조치를 취하려고 하고 있고요. 키나가 뭔데는 게임에서 이렇게 몹을 잡아서 벌 수 있는
게임 화면으로
이렇게 하면
보이나요?
네, 뭔가 버그가 있습니다.
네.
아니면 저랑 이제 저 몬스터랑 랩 차이가 많이 나가지고 안 떨어지는 걸 수도 있겠네요. 네.
네. 또 궁금하신 부분들이 검성 보고 싶어요. 검성, 호법 뭐 이런 것들은
저희가
다음에
죄송한데 저희가 지금 클래스를 많이 좀 이렇게 준비하지 못했어요. 키나 수급은 몹을 잡아서 나오는데요. 그거보다는 이제 던전 플레이를 통해서 이렇게 많이 좀 획득하실 수 있을 것 같습니다. 캔디요. 캔디도 저희는 준비는 하고 있는데 일정대 나올 수 있을지는 잘 모르겠네요. 작업장 살판 나겠네. 그 부분 때문에 사실은 이제 필드보다는 던전 쪽으로 많이 저희가 키나 획득처를 많이 좀 모으려고 하고 있습니다.
네. 네.
외자 닉네임 됩니다. 총 12자까지 되고요.
네.
스킬 확장 킥바는 없습니다. 스킬을 세팅하고 옮기고 하는 것들은 다 되는데요. 컨트롤러는 어떻게 되나요? 기본적으로 지금 조작하는 건 되는데 아직 매끄럽지는 않습니다. 저희는 지금 이제 PC와 모바일 쪽에 좀 더 집중하고 있는 상태입니다.
네, 저희가 방송을 시작한 지 앞에서 너무 말이 많았다 보니까
예, 그렇죠.
네, 벌써 1시간 20분이 되어 가는데요.
키나 아이나사도 넣는 거냐? 아니요, 없습니다. 말장난이 아니고요. 키나 부스팅하는 그런 거 없습니다.
네, 그렇답니다.
예, 콘솔은 런칭 시점에는 안 나갑니다.
런칭 때는 어렵고요. 그 이후에는 준비를 하려고 우선 얘기는 하고 있는 상태입니다.
네.
네.
원치 않는 쟁이 아이템 쟁의 핵심인데 맞습니다. 그것도 인정을 하는데요. 이제 반대도 생각하기 때문에 저희가 테스트해봤을 때 1시간 정도 넘어가서 쟁을 하는 거면 사실 충분하다고 판단을 했었습니다.
클베 5배 계획 있나요? 하는데 현재는 특별한 계획은 없고요.
네, 저희가 좀 많이 만들어야 될 것 같습니다.
네, 좀 더 만들고 판단해야 될 것 같아요.
예, 평타 캔슬이 있습니다. 한번 보여드릴게요. 잠깐 게임 화면 잠깐 보여주실 수 있나요? 예. 이렇게 보시면요, 이렇게 이게 평타거든요. 평타 쓰고 바로 이렇게 스킬을 쓰면 캐릭터 주변으로 이렇게 약간 회색 분신 같은 것들이 이렇게 나옵니다. 네, 저런 것들이 이제 평타 캔슬이라고 봐주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
네, 역시 근본의 평캔. 네.
캐릭터 의상이요. 저희가 좀 저희
네,
의상을 굉장히 좀 이쁘게 많이 만들려고 하고 있어요.
네. 주요 저희의 비즈니스 모델이 될 것 같아요.
예, 예.
네.
외형 쪽이 많이 큰 비즈니스 모델이 될 것 같고요. 화면 중 안 흔들리게 가능한가요? 예, 여기 지금 쉐이크가 들어가 있는데 그 빼는 옵션들이 다 있습니다.
네.
그리고 어떤 이제 타겟 고정해서 카메라 안 돌아가는 모드도 할 수 있고요. 새로운 스킬은 계속 나올 것 같습니다. 레벨이 풀리면요.
네. 이제 방송이 너무 오래돼서 많이 지치셨을 것 같은데요.
네.
그래도 계속 얘기하다 보니까 더 얘기하고 싶은데
네, 그렇죠.
네, 여기서 이제 마무리를 좀 한번 하도록 하겠습니다. 네, 이제 저희가 준비한 방송은 여기까지고요. 다음 방송을 저희가 9월에 진행을 할 예정입니다.
네.
네.
9월에 이제 말씀드리는 이유가 좀 이제 하나 큰 이벤트가 저희한테 있을 예정이라서.
네. 그래서 9월에 저희가 약속을 앞에서도 약속했던 부분들이 있죠.
예.
아까 모바일이라던가 그다음에 호법, 살성 이런 캐릭터들 좀 한 번 더 보여줄 수 있는. 네, 9월에는 이제 약속을 지킬 수 있는 그런 방송으로 한 번 더 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 구독 좀 저희 좀 부탁드려도 될까요? 저희가 이제 10만까지 얼마 안 남아서 구독 알림 설정을 해놓으시면은 저희가 올리는 콘텐츠들을 계속 보실 수가 있으니까 정보들도 얻을 수 있고요. 네, 이제 마지막으로 소감을 한마디씩 하고 정리하면 좀 좋을 것 같은데요. 남주님이 소개를.
예, 지금
소감을?
사실은
네.
저희가 이제 방송에 화면에 집중하고 이제 앞에 해드리는 것에 집중하다 보니까 이 방송의 후폭풍이 어떻게 몰려올까 좀 걱정이 많이 되고요. 아직 보지 못해가지고 생각도 지금 많아지고요. 네, 아까 너무 좀 기를 좀 많이 썼습니다. 좀 좋게 봐주셨으면 좋겠는데 저희가 준비한 것이 이제 유저분들 눈에 충분하게 좀 닿았을지 잘 모르겠습니다. 아무튼 최선을 다해서 좋은 게임, 재밌는 게임 만들기 위해서 노력 많이 하고 있으니까요. 아이온2에 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 저희가 방송 시간이 너무 길어진 만큼 좀 사과의 말씀 드리도록 하겠습니다.
네.
네, 죄송합니다.
네.
네. 다음에는 그냥 좀 핵심들로만 좀 위주로 짧게 방송하더라도 얘기하면서 풀어나가는 그런 방송으로 저희가 준비를 하도록 하겠습니다. 이렇게 지금 늦은 시간까지 봐주신 분들 정말 감사하고요. 퇴근하는 게 아니라 이제 또 일하러 가야죠.
네.
네. 네, 다음에는 아이온2 컨텐츠 하나씩 보여드릴 수 있는 것들을 많이 준비해서 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다. 마지막 인사는 저희 두 얼굴보다 캐릭터가 빠이빠이 이렇게 흔드는 걸로 끝내는 건 어떨까요?
예, 그렇게
목소리만
하시죠.
저희 목소리 나가고.
예.
네, 지금까지 시청해주신 여러분들 정말 감사합니다. 다음에 뵙겠습니다.
다음에 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.